Hello, fam. You are welcome to All Things Goodness. Now, this is a show that is all about life, faith, family, and nursing. Today, we will be talking about love across all cultures. I am not doing the talking today alone. I have my husband with me and friends who have turned family. We are all intercultural couples, and that's why I think we are in a good position to talk about this. So, I'm gonna keep the ball rolling, and first of all, I'm gonna introduce my very own husband of 10 good years. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Yes, so my name is Osahoni Wenaman. I was born a couple of years ago, and I'm from Edo State, Nigeria. I'm a lawyer by profession, and it's been a wonderful ride this past 10 years, being married to this gorgeous and beautiful lady.
Awesome. Okay, and I have this amazing, super lovely couple. I mean, I'm telling you, they are super amazing.
Absolutely.
Friends who have turned family, really good family. And I have with me, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Oduremi. I have known you guys for how many years now?
4, 5 years now?
Years? Yeah, 4, 5 years now. And I met them through my husband. So it's been a wonderful time getting to know them. And we've been married for also 4 or 5 years. No, 4 years.
No, 3.
3 years, yeah.
But yeah, so I am so happy to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And Mr. Ultra himself, but I'll let him do the introduction.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Timothy Oduremi. People call me Mr. Ultra,
Yes.
Timo Ultra. Yeah, I'm the luckiest man on earth, married to this Ibibi woman. Yeah, I call her Hayomi. She gives me joy. You know,
Of course.
It's a pleasure to be here. I've known our hosts. I mean, we've known each other, like my wife said, it's been about 5 years
Yeah.
now. And it looks like we've known it. It looks like we grew up together,
Exactly.
actually, because it was just like, you know, people you were just waiting to meet, and they just come into your life, and you just click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you all here. So, like I said, we are all intercultural couples. I'm from Cross River State. My husband is from Edo State. Becky is from Akwa Ibom. And Mr. Ultra is from
Osun
State.
Yeah.
So I think we have, what it takes to talk about this topic. So let's dive into it. First of all, how did you both meet?
Cool. You want to take it?
Okay, yeah, I can. We met at the concert.
Oh.
Yeah, I was invited to sing at a concert by a friend, who happened to be our friend too, and she was at the event too. You know,
Oh,
I
so
was
tag
right
along.
there. Huh?
I was a tag along to the
Oh,
concert.
you tagged along to a husband.
Okay. Yeah. It was the Holy Spirit leading
I'm
her.
telling you.
Yeah. And that Holy Spirit was also pushing her, because while we were sitting, while we were in the congregation, you know, worshiping, waiting for our time to perform, there was just this lady that was just worshiping behind me. I was telling my friend like,
Oh my God.
you know, I mean, it was just a talk.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to see her face until after the event. Then I met my friend outside. We were greeting each other, and then my friend introduced her. Hey, hi. I think that was the first time
Yeah.
we met, and that was it. Then 2 days after or thereabout, then she reached out to me on Facebook,
Yeah.
and sent a message to me. Hey, I saw you. I was at the concert. I saw you singing this day, and some people are, you know, planning for a program, and they would like to invite you. And I was like, oh, but I mean, that first time we actually vibe. You know, we're just talking. It looks as if we were friends before. You
Funny
know,
enough, I don't chat. That was the talent.
yeah, I mean, we're just how are you? And then before you know, it's like, how do you do? And it just went on and on. We talk about the concert, then we're laughing about other things, you know, and just like that. And it was a good chat, but it ended there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never spoke again until after 5 months or almost 6 months.
Wow.
Then I was at another program, and we were singing, and then so somehow we got into talking, and somebody talked about they talked about our sister.
Yeah.
Mentioned our sister. I think our sister was part of the planning committee of that of the program,
Yeah.
and then she reached out to me to find out about Riaza. Then I was telling my friend that this person called me and all of that, and then somebody just like, oh, do you know our sister? And I was like, who is she? He said, Becky. I said, I think I know her. And this guy just went all about, started talking about her. It was like the Holy Spirit was, he was just talking, she's this, she's good. In fact, in this state, people that I know, she's the best. She's he went on saying like, oh, she doesn't talk to guys. I was like, I've spoken to her. We chatted. You guys are yeah. He said, that girl. Okay. You didn't after the program. I just reached out to her. How far? And that's how everything just started. It's been a long time. Blah blah. I didn't waste time. I was just like, what are you doing tomorrow?
Awesome.
And the rest is history,
Yeah. So, Pastor Saul, would you like to share how we met?
Okay, I'm going to try my
that's a
best.
story. I've never heard them talk about how they've met before.
Yes.
Briefly, I'm going to give a very honest account.
No.
My wife has a twisted.
That is not true. Okay,
Wait
say it.
She has a twisted account of how we met.
Okay.
But I'm going to set the record straight right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I met my wife in 2013, if I'm not wrong, in our local church in Abuja, way back in Nigeria. So I was sitting in church one Sunday morning. It was worship time, and I was sitting on my pew.
A row ahead of me.
Yeah, a pew ahead of her.
Okay.
You want to call it row?
Pew row, yeah.
So I was sitting with my friend, Suleiman. So we were worshiping, and you know how there's this very disruptive kind of singing from the back when you know that person should be in the choir, and that person is worshiping
That was just exactly what I was talking about Becky. Like she was so loud. I mean, it was good loud. Not super loud. Not like annoying loud. It was just a good loud. Like, okay, as an angel.
She was singing so sweetly. I was like, okay, she don't do too much. She don't join choir. In a funny manner. So my friend said, I want to see who this girl is. He turned and looked and faced back, and I said, oh, okay. I now waited for a few minutes to also steal a glass. And I turned, I said, okay, who is this petty, cute-looking young lady? She was tiny, looking fine. I said, madam, go to a choir. Don't they disturb us in a funny manner. That was the very first encounter. That was the first time I set eyes on her. And then after service, I don't think I saw her again. And then over time, we started serving in units. I realized she joined the choir. And I remembered her. I said, hey, in my mind, now you are in the right place. Stop terrorizing us on our seats, So, how did we start talking? I was serving.
We joined the same.
I was already serving in the decorations unit. So on one Saturday, we were preparing service, the hall, decorating the hall, and then she came in and joined. She said she was joining, like, oh, okay. So we started talking. I was draping the hall, and then she was giving me pins to drape. That's how the first time we struck the conversation. I started talking. How are you? What did you do? Where are you from? Just casual talk. After that, and then the next time we had another conversation was, I think we have a similar love story. And it's surprising because I've never heard this part. I saw her online on Facebook. And I said, hi. And I said, hi, young man, how are you? The conversation was so interesting.
Yeah.
We were just going on and on and on. It was, she was like, everybody said, oh, you're so funny. Yeah. I'll crack jokes, she will laugh. And then that's how that friendship kind of thing started. And then started getting to know each other. And then, funny enough, she even visited my house.
Oh.
Not to see me. I had my best friend. I was living with my best friend and his elder brother. So his elder brother was a pastor now. Brought her to the house. She was always in the house. He was completely like, like this something is just inside. She does that. I want to just make her feel free, welcome. She's new to Abuja, and she went to her house, brought her to our house, and that was the first time she came to the house. I'm like, okay. She visited, and when she left, I smiled. I looked at him, he laughed, and I was like, push to the side. The connection is connected. Exactly. So things were just adding up, and then she now applied for a new role.
Yeah.
And she applied as a
head of business development.
Yeah, business development executive in an organization. And I was already serving as head business development and strategy in my organization. So she was like, I heard that you're in a similar role, and I'm having an interview. Can you put me through? That's how we scheduled an appointment. We met. It was just every little drop was just adding to make a bowl of water. At the end of the day, I just realized she was very charming, principled, pretty young lady. Okay. But I wasn't interested because there were barriers. I don't know if it's the right time to talk about it, but as time goes on, maybe I'll be sharing.
Okay, awesome. Wow, I love the stories. Awesome, stories about how we all met. Okay, so I'm gonna go right into the next questions. Like, what were your expectations when you were coming into marriage? And for the 3 years you've been married now, what are the realities? Does the expectation meet the reality of what you're seeing right now? Especially also as a cross-cultural couple.
Okay. Me first or him?
You answer first now, because he talked the first time.
Okay. Well, expectation and reality. So, he's a music person.
Mm-hmm.
When I met him at first, because everything I know about him was mostly music.
Yeah.
So in my head I was thinking, okay, but we get to marriage, someone will be singing for you. I have to put application. Even the application is denied. My reality is that, but caveat to it was that when we were dating, because we're in different cities. So when he makes me mad, he drives to where I'm at and use music.
Oh Lord.
To apologize. Which I kind of like. I liked it though. So I was okay. When we get married, this thing will continue. It did not continue. It did not continue. So that was the number one. In fact, I had to give myself brain. First, I was. I think I asked you. That you don't sing for me anymore, or so, and I even told his friends about it. That before he used to sing, now he's not singing again. But I shall give myself brain. I guess he cannot.
The vicissitudes of life.
Yeah, it's switched from music to sneakers. So that's where we are now.
But yes, you do something.
It shall do something. So that was the one expectation. Then which one else was expectation?
So what are the ones that the expectation met?
That met. So before we got married, I didn't even know anything about marriage, but one thing I knew was that, because I heard people talk about a lot, that Yoruba people they are Yoruba demons.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's what you
See, in my mind I was like, I don't want any Yoruba demon. That was one. Two was that a man that is not secure.
Yeah.
So that you want a woman to be down while you are the one growing alone. So the first time we went out on a date, that was one of the first questions I asked him. If I make more money than you, literally as I put it, do you have a problem with it? If he said no that day, or his body language said no and his mouth said yes, that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I know that I want to grow in my career.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to stop here. So one thing he said that till today still sticks is that he really loves if he sits behind the scene and the wife is called on stage, he will turn around to somebody and be like, that's my wife.
He deserves a round of applause. That's a good one.
So that was one thing. I was like, okay, that this settles it. That was one. And then the other question I asked was kids. Because some people have issues with if you don't have kids, what happens? Whether the woman is at fault or not at fault, like if you have issue or something.
Yeah.
So I asked him, it's not that I know I will have kids because I was just being at that moment. Okay, if something like this happened, what would you respond to? And the next answer was that we have adoption center.
True.
Someone can do surrogacy. Like he puts different things in place. I was like, okay, so he has head on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That was and then in reality, he actually lives to what he says. So if you know him, you know if he says, I'm not doing this thing, you shall know he will not do it. If he says he will do this thing, he will do it. So that was
awesome. So in reality, you are enjoying your marriage.
The Lord has
Okay, Uncle Tim, what expectation reality? The one that is met and the one that has not been met.
Well, I mean,
be nice.
Hey, are you scared?
Were you nice?
I was like,
okay. I mean, in terms of expectation, so for me, I didn't really have like too much expectation or like I tell people unrealistic expectation, because for me, I mean, even before we start dating or get to the point of dating, we have to connect. You know, we have to be on the same. So all of that was already kind of check. You know, core values. You know, we are believers, and then you love family. I love family. You are friendly. I'm friendly. You know, you have goals. I have goals. You know, because I never, you know, like what she was saying. When she was asking me that question, I was just like, okay, this is it, because for me, I mean, there's nothing wrong in people being a full housewife and all of those things. I mean, I don't have anything wrong, but personally, I don't want a wife that wants to be a full housewife. You understand? I want a woman that wants to do something, and you know, me to give my support, you support me, and all of that. And I've always wanted a woman that, for real. Not because she asked me. Growing up, I've always wanted a woman that, not that I want to be like a guy that is laid back or something, but I just, whatever I'm doing, I still want another, I want a woman that, I want to sit in the audience and like cross my leg and like, okay, that's my baby.
My girl.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, and when she popped that question, it was just like,
Trying to sell myself.
you know, right there. And I mean, so all of that met. You know, all of this expectation met for me. Yeah, I think the only one that did not meet, which the only one that did not meet. I don't know if it's time to talk about that.
it's not time.
It's not time.
Stay.
We're talking about expectations.
It's the right time.
I mean, you know, like, okay, like they say no sex before marriage, you know that thing, keep yourself, so that when you marry, you can now start.
He did wait.
That you can now start doing the do, and then now we are married. Let us do
Which way?
do is not do.
No, but it's
Story of our life.
It's not doing the way you want to do.
When we say it's not doing, but now the quantity is not achieved.
So now, I mean, for you, I guess for
We
you,
don't do. We are getting.
I'm not. I mean, what I was going to say is, I guess for people that are not married, I think it's part of maybe your realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, let me set this straight. I'm not trying to say, I mean, that we don't have sex. We have sex. We enjoy sex, and we are still. I mean, we will still enjoy more. I think what I was just trying to say for people out there is that, don't let us set unrealistic expectations when it comes to sexual, you know, especially you've been waiting, they say, oh, wait, and then you think finally when you marry, you are marrying because of sex. You are not marrying because of sex. Sex will be there, you will enjoy sex, you know, but I guess let's just try and put that, you know, set things straight. I guess that's just all I'm saying, you know.
It cannot be every day because of, I mean, especially when kids start coming, there's work.
There's kids, there's this, there's that, and all of that, and then I mean, the part that even get me more is when the women, when they get pregnant, you know, get pregnant, giving birth, and then taking care of the baby. Even except you don't have it.
That's true.
You pity them and say, let me leave this woman, I beg. You know.
Whoa, this has been amazing. Like, I'm loving the conversation already. I hope you're enjoying this as much as we are enjoying this also. Okay, over to you, sir. What were your expectations and the reality that you met on ground?
Okay, I think for me, I'll say the question is a little bit kind of broad, but I'll try to answer it to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
So when you say expectations, for example, as a young man with all the fancy ideas in your head, oh yes, I want this very tall, ebony looking lady, you know, hourglass, model looking. In those early stages of being a young adult, you know, you feel like this is what you want, you know. But what I realize is that when you start to grow and start to prepare yourself for marriage. So when I started reading about marriage, what are the requirements for marriage, being under tutelage of people who are able to mentor you as marriage counselors, I started understanding things or putting things into perspective. So naturally, not about the glamour and the glitz. There's a lot you need to put into. What are those core values, like Tim mentioned earlier, you are looking for in a woman? So basically, I started narrowing things down. I realized that I was going to build a home. I'm going to be with someone who's going to be my friend forever. So it's not necessarily about
not hourglass friend.
Yeah, not about the shape. Am I saying that's not important?
They are, of course.
I love my wife. My wife is petite. I like petite ladies. She's cute. She's beautiful. I look at her. She's even more beautiful than I met her. Every day she gets younger, you know. And I'll say that my expectations inside marriage was I wanted someone who was going to stay young, fresh looking for me. And I would say I'm not disappointed. Take a look at my wife. Sometimes I ask her because she's in school. I was like, "So are you trying to tell me like the way you are fine? Like no boy walked up." Say actually, one young guy was just trying to talk to me. I said, "You talk to them back now. Then they will not know you are married. You know, we laugh it off. You know." So that's that's one for me. And then on the other side, I've always been very particular about who I will call my wife because I was into active politics when in my university days, and I really wanted to go into politics when I got out of school. I always say I want somebody who is going to look by my side and be proud to call my wife. Someone who has a very strong personality, someone who's intelligent. When she's talking, I'm not scared of the next thing she's going to say.
Yeah.
Someone who I'm going to be able to say, "Oh, please, I'm not going to be in this function. Can you be there for me?" So I wanted somebody who, so when I started speaking to her, oh yes, I knew she was a linguist. She spoke so well. She had this composure. She was very decent. I mean, very decent. She was very clear about it when we were there. She was like, "No sex before my life." Okay, let's see how that works. But when she said that, she was firm, and I knew that's what she wanted, and we stuck to that. And to me, those are core values. And those are expectations you see in somebody you feel, okay, I want to be with, and you're happy that, you are like, in quote, you met the right person, So for me, I think those were some of the expectations of somebody who had a very strong personality, someone who's confident of herself, someone who was ready to grow herself. I knew that my wife is very, very goal-oriented. She's somebody who sets her mind to do something. She sets her mind to, and she's going to do it. If she's not going to do it, you have to be strategic in your way of talking her out of it. So you don't have to hold her and say, no. You have to look for valid reasons, convince her why. And that tells a lot about someone's personality. In marriage, that has played out really well because I know that when she's taking a decision, I can be sure to say, oh yeah, I know this is what my wife is going to be able to do, this is what she's going to be able to do. And then over the years, she's going back to school. When she tells me about the things she wants to do, I'm like, okay, I feel so proud to know that she has this lined up for herself. And I'll say, really, those are some. Then what would I say are some of the expectations that I didn't really
That
Not
they
met.
don't speak up.
Yeah, not met, you know. I think this is a global issue.
It's a global issue.
Because personally, outside of this camera, we've had these conversations before.
Yeah.
And I think we can be candid.
Yeah.
You know, when my wife is from Cross River State. So in court, they call, everybody say, oh, na Calabar my married. Okay.
Yes.
You know, and
I
then,
am not from Calabar.
They are close now.
always put us together.
exactly. When you heard somebody who is from Cross River or Akwa Ibom State, you guys were one big
Yeah,
state.
yeah,
you know?
true.
We say, na Calabar girl.
Ah.
And then there's this myth, if you know in Nigeria, that Calabar girls are very bad in bed.
Hey.
Freaky.
You know, that kind of thing, you know. And then, in your mind,
You are looking for the freakiest of the freakies.
Wait, are you guys saying that you guys have not been free?
we are not saying we have not been
No, answer now.
my matter is that it looks like our composition is in the
Wait, so you have to play the air. Don't play the air.
Okay,
Because
so
all
the
I'm
thing
saying.
is this.
Have you guys not been free? Or it's just that the like in your head was okay, maybe we'll be free 20 times
That's
a
the
week.
thing.
But now
You know,
you're free 10
as
times
young
a
men,
week.
and I think as a young man out there we are doing it, we felt that this one we never get license. Or how
Na
this is
fire.
said every day, papa. But then that's not the way marriage is. So let me tell you for now, you know, life happens, marriage happens. Now we have kids, we have children. Even when you're even maybe that's when the child will not want to sleep. That's when things will not just work out, you know. So basically, I think there's something like, okay, top. This is how we have met it to, and like Tim said, it not to say that there's absolute absence of it, because people might tend to, and I think people tend to misunderstand this. You know, as men, you just a man's psychological composition is totally different from that of a lady.
Yeah, that's
you know, a man is moved by what he sees. I can just be in the kitchen. My wife is putting on one powerful bottle shot. I'm like, okay, I already have ideas in my head. But she wants to finish cleaning up her assignment. I want to come aside me. Oh, God, I like, so that's how we just say like, why did you not wear khaki?
Funny story, there was a day something like that happened, and he made a comment. He said after the whole the prayer has been done and answered, he was like, I did not expect to get anything today.
Oh my goodness.
And like somebody sometimes you wear something, everything is shaking. In my mind, I'm like, okay, it's like.
And you think that I also putting you in
and then we enter bed, and then you like, you touch, the touch is not touching. And then what's happening?
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So for me, expectations. I was this kind of person that I loved to read a lot. Growing up as a teenager, I read everything. Mills and Bones. Like I read everything. I was a very how do I say, fantasy kind of person. When I met my husband, I showed him my diaries. Like I used to write letters to my unknown husband. I'm telling you,
I was lonely.
I used to write letters to my unknown
She would
husband.
send me a parcel. She would send me a scratchbook.
Like if he travels for like, there was a time when
She
we
would journal every day without me.
he went to Malaysia.
And then they expected me to give her a rejoinder.
Yeah, so I was that very fantasy-driven kind of person. So with all you've read and all the romantic movies you've watched,
Then your brain.
Too much romantic.
Yeah, so I was
That's a really good point because female fall a victim. to
exactly.
that.
So I was very
Too much Korean
over-romanticized in my mind. Like, okay, he will be opening the doors all the time. When your pin falls, you go, no, don't touch it. He will carry that, all of that kind of that kind of a thing. But when I got in, I had to like, I mean, because there are days like you maybe you have a little argument, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like when I put myself in that, like when I'm angry, I'm not thinking of romance at that particular point in time. So I had to learn that, okay, reality is different from movies. I mean, it's very, very different. As long as the person is a kind person, is a loving person, you know. And then there is something else I had to address my husband on that. Like in the early years of our marriage, like if maybe I make him mad, instead of him calling me baby, because that's what we call it, he say goodness. I had to warn him. I said, in your life,
Oh my lord.
I said, if you want to call me goodness, let goodness be the name. If whether happy, not happy, if you
Oh, madam.
or hey, or if madam, let's speak a name, so that whether we are angry or not angry, that is stick to it.
I said
Don't when you're angry, answer calling me. I will not answer you. He thought I was joking. When you said goodness, I'll just be like, but
It's not me,
there's no goodness in
There's no
this
goodness
place.
in there.
He said goodness in this, so he had to learn that. So that was another thing we had to walk through. Like, okay, like we said, in good or bad times, baby is baby. We'll stick to it. You know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so far it's been awesome. I can tell you, the reality has been, when you have a person who is fundamentally kind, fundamentally, you know, you share the same values, and most importantly, someone who's a Christian and loves God true and true, not just going to church. It makes it easier. You know, as a single lady, I listened to one message that really changed things for me by Pastor Schumacher, who is in UK now, and he said something. He was talking about Mary and Joseph in the Bible, and he was saying one thing that helped Mary was that she was with a man who could hear God. He said, if you are with a man who cannot hear God, you are in trouble. Because if Joseph was not hearing God, even when he saw all those dreams, he would have still gone to do the very opposite. Exactly. But because he could hear God, that's why
profound.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, this was it for me. So I wasn't just, because I mean, it's not everybody who is in church who is a Christian or believe God or really, you know. So, and then another thing was, when I told my husband no sex sexual, he was like, one thing I'm promising you throughout this journey is I will never be that man that will make you sin against God. Whatever God says and you stand for it, I will stand with you and we'll stand together and do it. And he has been doing that for the 10 years, you know. So my reality, I would say it has exceeded my expectation, but also put me in check, like brought me back to reality. That life is not all about fantasy, butterflies in your stomach and trips and all of that. You know, there's so much more to marriage than all of that. So yeah, awesome. Well, this has really been so insightful, and I mean, I'm even learning a lot just from us talking, and I hope you're out there also learning, you know, and everything. Okay, so I'll go to the next question. As a couple from different cultures, what was that funny or awkward or cultural moment that you're like, okay, what in the world is this? You know, learning about your cultures, or maybe when you met the parents or something, you knew that, okay, this was a thing.
Culture shock.
Yeah, culture shock for you.
Culture shock for me was food. Believe it or not, food. 2 meals. Nigerian stew and beans. The first day I moved into his house, he cooked the first time. So the next time I was like, okay, let me cook beans. I can kill beans. I will not say maybe not for everybody, but at least most Akwa Ibomans that I know, we cook black eye beans.
Yeah, like South.
Yes, as porridge, like porridge beans. So black eye beans. So me, I went to the store, I got all my black eye beans, I put everything together. I served meal. I was waiting for that new white moment, something. One thing is that he will eat the food.
Yeah.
He will not, even if he's upset, he will eat food. He's not upset, he will eat the food. After he has finished eating the food, then he will now give up. So he was like, what did you put in the beans? That the beans is not sweet.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean by sweet? Because both of us have eaten the food and
It's sweet for me.
it's entering my mouth. He was like, no, beans is not sweet. The food is nice, but the beans is not sweet.
Yeah, there's a taste
Yes, there's a taste that
missing.
is missing. I was like, I'm not getting. So then he now said, oh, I guess maybe he saw the beans in the kitchen and was like, did you use black eye beans to make beans porridge? I was like, yes, now, which one
Should
am
you
I supposed to use?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, that you don't use black eye beans for beans porridge. I was like, what do you mean?
That's what
That
we
you
do.
don't use black eye beans for beans porridge.
Yeah.
So then he was like, no, that I'm going to show you the beans they use for beans porridge. And I was like, then the next thing that clicked in my head was that, okay, I had to give myself brain. You are from Ibibio. And he's a Yoruba person. So maybe they use different beans.
Yeah.
So next I was like, okay, you make beans. So that was where so he made beans with the honey
Honey
beans.
beans,
He's
A wild Louis.
That's brown beans, right?
Yeah,
the
brown
brown
beans.
one.
So he now used that. He made it, he was like, the taste is different. Because
Yeah.
the other
Is it different
no wait
or
now,
better?
let me get there.
Testify to the goodness
the
of the
beans
Lord.
is the beans is sweet.
Yeah.
But like the same method of cooking is still the same,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
just that the sweetness
Of
of
the
the
beans
original
adds
beans
to
is
it,
the
yeah,
adds to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So me, I'm like, okay, so now what I got was okay, I now put black eye beans and a walloy and mix it
Combination.
together and we cook beans
50-50.
porridge. He has never complained about beans again. That was one.
okay.
Two, what then stew. We make stew differently.
Yeah.
They make one watery stew.
Yeah.
The stew is not thick. You put stew in rice, it's not red. And I finished stew. He was like, the taste is something.
Too
It
sharp.
tastes good, but it's sharp.
Too sharp. Yeah, we know we fry ours.
Yeah. So I was okay. Next time make stew. He shall make his own stew. I put stew on rice. He did not have any stew.
It's not red.
Wait,
The
now
stew was
the
not
stew
stew.
tasted good.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm used to having
You
a
are
red.
just used to having a thick stew like
Yeah.
porridge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not porridge.
That's how my husband likes it, and I
Like
don't like it.
porridge.
So that's the point. So
Stew is
that
not
was.
porridge.
So what's to do with in our house now?
Mine.
Compromise. I'm
That
doing
was
it.
yeah. So now I will make stew. But if he wants the Yoruba stew, or sometimes I'll just tell him make your own stew. So that way we have diversity in the house. So that was then for the.
And then also to her credit, she learned how to do the Yoruba stew.
Oh yeah, I did.
Also.
Yeah,
Because
I.
I have a friend, sister, her name is and that very close
Hey,
to Sister
the
Tokwe.
Sister Tokwe,
Yeah,
yeah.
she learned from her,
Yes.
ask her question how to
Shout
do
out
the
to
stew.
Sister Tokwe.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
she learned how to do
Yeah.
it. So now our stew is a blend of
Both.
Yoruba
That's what I
and,
did.
Yeah.
and the BBO.
So
it's
that
still
way-
thick, but
That's the
So-
Yoruba component.
you did not tell them that the tomato paste.
Oh yeah. So sometimes we use tomato paste in our stew too.
It's
To
not
make-
sometimes.
No,
We
no,
have to
wait
put
now.
it.
You have to put to add the redness.
Yeah.
In their side, they don't
They
use
don't,
tomato.
yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, Sister Tokwe, she was like,
Don't.
who put tomato paste in stew? The husband too cut the thing and had to tell her, no, she's from Ibibio. She's not Yoruba person.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing was that he also understood that I'm from a different place.
Yeah,
I'm
culture.
used to this one, and then then culture itself was food is a culture, and greeting.
Yeah.
So two people in the house did something. The first time I went to his place, he wasn't there. His brother took me there. So when the brother took me there, the mom, so I knew Yoruba, you have to bend down
Yeah.
to greet. So when I saw his dad, the first thing I did was to bend, and I was like, he quickly was like, oh, get up, don't stress yourself. And we tell him, the mom took me to greet somebody. And she was like, oh, bend down, be greeting like Yoruba culture. So the brother walked in and spoke in their language. Don't stress her. She's not from Yoruba land. Not that I respected the culture, because
Yeah.
I told him, what do your parents like
Yeah.
before I get there? Because I know my house, there are some rules that you cannot bring.
Yeah.
So I carried the same thing to his own place. I
Yeah.
asked her, and he was like, oh no, everything is okay. It be not okay. So the brother was like, no, don't let her do that.
Yeah.
That this she's not from here, mommy, just wrap it up, let's go. So they really took, that was another thing that was shout out to Kola, Mr. Festus. Yeah. So I really felt welcome in their family that day because of what Kola did. And he wasn't around. So when I came back, I was telling him about it. And then another thing, I wasn't around too. Paddy and Sammy went to Kola's place. And they treated my siblings like as if a president of the country was in that. So it was, so those were some cultural things, I guess, their family wise, or maybe it's something peculiar to them. It was very welcoming. And the other side, so yeah. But now
Arthur, Uncle Tim.
I think she
Did you feel any cultural
From her
shock
side?
from her side?
From her side, food, I guess, is the, you know, like, I mean, Ibibio people, they say they cook a lot and all of that, good food, So of course, so we've been enjoying good food. We do have good food because they always say we don't have, we only have food, or we don't do this. I mean, we have. It's just that we do the most common things. That's what people see around. But we have a lot, too, you know. But they are variety every now and then, which I've been enjoying all of that, you know. Awesome. But like what she mentioned, like the beans thing was just, I mean, I could deal with other things, but these beans.
He really loves beans, that's why.
I love beans, and I've been cooking beans, like, even in my house, I'm probably the best beans cooker in the house. That beans, it has to red pepper.
It has to be,
you know. I think beans was the first one we had. The other one also was stew, which she mentioned. Then the other one, which she did not mention, is meat.
Oh! In the house.
Yes, so I want meat, and then apart from that, in our stew or soup or something like that, we like big meat. Yoruba people.
Oh yeah.
Big meat. In fact, let me tell you this.